Romania have largest area of wild forest in Europe, most of them in Carpathians. Yet, their high deforestation rates due to illegal logging, many various species eradication by poaching and other threats. I am in the forest of immortal stories. That's the protection campaign of these enormous and gigantic beech trees. Every of these trees behind me could be adopted. It's cost about 700 lei, I guess around 150 euros, and you can put your story into it.
In Romanian.
Sometimes the force of the wind is taking the small seeds far away from the sheltering trees' trunks.
The whole project started around 2 or 3 years ago when the mayor had some tragic events happening to him, and he believes that the trees were the ones that saved him. But he found, I don't know, some sort of refuge here.
Nice story.
Dobry. Ja, scuzați. Hello. No? No.
He's actually quite cool guy. He really cares about the trees and environment, and I wish all of the mayors will be like him. When someone adopts the tree, the mayor itself comes here, uses the QR code and the hammer and just put it on a tree. All the money from the adaptations will go back to the city council, and then they distribute it and invest into the better space for tourism here, like making the path and all the infrastructures, so more people could come here and enjoy this forest, and at the same time to preserve this nature. So it's really a conservation project. And it's a very specific number for these trees here. It's 2544, and guess why? That's the height of the tallest mountains in Romania. It's just exploded quite well, because recently there was an article in New York Times about this project. Very next day they've got so many adaptations of the trees. In just one day the amount of adaptations have doubled. But the most interesting thing happened on our way out of the forest, when we were stopped by this guy who also seen the article.
And he wanted to ask us how can he adopt a tree.
Wow, that's
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
Seriously, eh?
Yes,
Wow,
it's amazing.
So cool.
It's amazing.
Dacă în Romania. Prin gard.
Is it electric?
Those are the biggest that we have now in the enclosure.
We just bought 3 bisons, 2 of them from Poland and one another one from Hungary. So we don't want to disturb them, so we keep a distance. But it's very nice. There is like a few stages. The first one, nursery or quarantine, when the new arrived bison stay for 3 weeks. And then they go to this enclosure where we are here now. It's a quite big enclosure, and usually bison stay here until they form the group, and they will be released into the wild. That's the quarantine zone, where right now 4 other bisons which just arrived. So they're gonna stay in the quarantine for about 3 weeks, and they do medical check and they make sure that they're all ready to be adopted in this environment.
There are somewhere there.
Almost 100 years ago, that animals which are right behind me were declared extinct in the wild, and only 12 of them left. And those 12 were in like private collections and zoo. In the wild they were completely erased. And I mean, that was overhunting, that us humans who killed all of them. Right now the population of European bisons are around 10,000, and all of the 10,000 come from these 12 initial bisons. And that's incredible. We as a humans eradicate them almost completely, and yet still find a way to bring them back. So these 4 very soon will be released into the wild right here in Carpathian Mountains. You feel also a little bit guilt for the humans and overhunting and not thinking in the long term and how we eradicate species. But also maybe that's something which push other people to act. And that's not a bad thing, because when we act we really can accomplish a lot of great things. How does this happen? So now we're going to check some anti-poaching devices, and they're quite up in the mountain, and we have to change the car. How far is it still? Can we hike or it's too far?
What to change?
4?
4 kilometers.
Yes.
Oh shit. Even our fancy car couldn't get us top to the hill. It's just so much snow here. So we got stuck. So the rest we're gonna hike. We'll see if we'll get it. But the snow is very, very deep. I wonder if we couldn't get there, how poachers get there. Maybe not in winter. There's the trailer of illegal loggers. And someone smashed the windows. It's good. I support that. The Carpathians also distribute food. They have their own brand, Fruit of the Mountains. As you can see behind me, they have full storage of the products from the local people. That way they help also to distribute their products.
Fruit of the Mountain project. It's an LTD, but it's under the Carpathia umbrella, and obviously part of the money they are going back in the conservation project.
So it was really hard to find this tracking device, like anti-poaching, anti-loggers, anti-everything, because our snow buggy was stuck, and just to get there it took us a few hours and it's already late, so I just flew my drone. The way it works, it catches ambient noises, and as soon as it's recognized, for example, chainsaw or shooting, it sends a GPS location to one of the rangers, and they should go straight away and check. Yeah, speaking about logging, like all of this area behind me was illegally logged. It's like completely wiped out. It's an area about 40,000 square meters. Imagine that. It was illegally logged, so that's why we put this device here in this area.
Today we check deer camera. We need to change the batteries and the SD cards. We need to find this camera.
Okay, so the
Yeah.
GPS marking.
Yeah. And it's somewhere there.
Okay, let's look. So is it like normal day job for you to go up such hikes?
Yeah.
Get used to
And
that.
it's this trail is really easy.
Okay. So we just went up to the mountains. That was quite high to my taste and quite steep. And the guys, rangers, they do it daily. For them it's like a day job. And I'm like quite tired already. So even that we have GPS marking of the location of camera trap, it's still quite challenging to find it. Camera is not here. We keep looking for it. Could it be that someone
not
steal it?
Yeah,
That's
it's
possible?
Yeah. We have another camera and we install it again. Yeah.
But who comes here? Like
Cameras have AI algorithm which knows the distance to the deer when he crosses the camera, but you have to train the algorithm first with this red cloth. This helps to calculate the density of the deers, and cameras stay in the field for 1 year. In total, they have 127 cameras for this project.
so the red one for lynx.
Yeah.
Where's the green?
Yeah, but without
Green here.
some.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And green for the deer.
The forest we're hiking through right now, it's actually hunting grounds, but it's not typical hunting ground. Carpathia actually set up a hunting organization and bought this land as a hunting ground, but they of course don't hunt. It's like a way of protection, because by the law all of the animals in your hunting grounds considered your property and you can kill them, but if you're not gonna kill them, they can live freely here. It's a nice story, and I think it's a nice approach of conservation too. I never heard about something like this, and I find this idea brilliant.
We checked few cameras on this day, and I will show you some of the amazing footage which you can get from camera traps in the forest.
Fox, yeah. Carpathia is the biggest conservation organization in Romania, and they're doing so many diverse things. They're buying forest to biodiversity. They're buying cut out and completely logged forest to rewild it again. They even established their own hunting association to protect animals. They reintroduced bisons back into Romania and also help locals to sell their products to make a living. They even made a tourist company with wildlife watching tours. And it's a perfect example of how many different activities could be done with one goal: to protect nature.
I see how twisted and absurd the economical system which we have built, when you have to buy a forest to keep it alive, or when you have to pretend to be a hunter to keep animals alive. I admire Carpathia and everything what they're doing, but I also see how the whole trade-based system needs to be changed if we want to save our planet biodiversity.
Big bear. Oh wow! Oh, that's the paw of the bear. That's like my hand. If you like what I'm doing, please consider joining me on my Patreon, where I share more details and information about activities and projects I am doing. Thank you for watching, and be brave to act.